I can't see the pencil. Hello, everybody. My name is Hershey Petty, and I'm your host, and this is Time for Art. And if you've ever felt like you wanted to paint, then this is a good place to start. So we want to say welcome to our subscribers out there, and to those watching who are our non-subscribers, welcome to you guys, and welcome to anybody who wants to be a subscriber. And if you want to be a subscriber, you can go to timeforartsubscriptions.com and become one right away. So this is, if anybody's your first time here, this is our all fun, no rules painting class. And today is an unboxing day. It's our first day of the month. And we're going to play with some colors. We're going to do an unboxing, and then we're going to do some free drawing at the end. So get ready for a good time. The theme for June, if you guys haven't yet already opened your June box, is tranquility. So we'll discuss a little bit about that. And without further ado, let's say hello to our resident artist, Allison Crary. Hi, Al.
Hi, Hershey. How are you?
I am fantastic. It's June. It's the month of my birth. So I'm, best month ever, I think.
Best month ever. And it does not surprise me your birth month corresponds with tranquility.
Oh, Shote.
I mean.
Yes.
All right. So let's just
talk about that tranquility. How did you come up with it? What were you thinking?
Well, so when we teased this last month, where we had confections, which was the sugar high that we were on for the whole time.
Yeah.
I said this was our detox. And so I think tranquility has some really beautiful images, and I think it holds a really beautiful place in art and art history and in a painting medium. So we're going to get into that. And I think we're going to talk a little bit about composition and stillness and relaxing compositions and what that looks like. This kit includes black. Basically, it's Payne's green in this one, but it reads very black with the paint that we use. And so we're going to talk about monochromatic compositions and what those look like, and in tranquility, sort of in simplicity. And I think it's kind of an abstract space that we haven't really been in. We've had desert, and we've had confections, and we've had wings, and this is more of a concept than a theme. And so I'm excited for all those reasons.
Me too. Very well said. Okay.
Right,
let's get
our image. We're going with orchids, which I think there's a real grace and beauty and simplicity too. So that's that. Here is your card that explains when we're meeting, what we're doing. Always please check and make sure you got everything. We've had some instances where stuff gets destroyed in shipping, and we'll replace anything that you didn't get for any reason. But be sure to go through all of that, take a look and see what's there. It lets you know when we're going live, what we're doing. And we always want you at any and all of these things, but certainly do not expect that you can or need to come to all of every time is a new project, is a new thing. And we understand that. So whatever we catch you is wonderful. Whatever you want to do the activity that we do that night, please do it after the fact if you can't be available live, and then if you can't be available live, obviously please interact with us. So we would appreciate that. And then this is your white paint. We love white paint. This is covering white. We send you a whole bunch of it so that you use a whole lot of it. Anyone who paints knows that they never give you enough in a painting kit of white because it kind of goes into everything. So we more than take care of that.
And that's a really good white. That's a great
really good white. Yeah. It's covering white. It's opaque. It's important. We love it. In your bundles, we have your Time for Art pencil. This is a number 2 pencil like you used to take tests with if you are my age. Or
right.
We also include trying to pick it up here, pencil sharpener, because who has those anymore?
And that's we say this every month, but that is a really nice pencil sharpener. We've got it on authority from teachers, lifelong teachers, who say it's the best pencil sharpener they've ever seen.
We get a lot of nice compliments on our pencil sharpeners. And so this is, this is a good one for that. You get 3 brushes of 3 different sizes. We send, these are labels, and the reason we send you labels is because if you want to tether your work or your outline to the sketchbook or to the panel, we make that very much available. You can use tape, you can use anything, but we never want you to have to go out and find something. We include everything, so labels it is.
The labels to me really solidify that we get everything in the box.
Get everything in the box, yeah.
Everything that you can think of comes in this box, except for the water you may need for your brushes.
Except for the water you may need for your brushes, absolutely. These are the colors we're working with this week, and they are really kind of special in this instance. We're not going to do a color wheel this week. It's not like you have a version of all the primary colors that we usually work with. We're going to work with, these two are this violet and medium yellow. These are complementary colors, and one of our paintings this month is completely hinged on this relationship. And then we have deep green. We usually ask you to mix green, so this time you get your own green. You can still mess with it with some yellow and some purple, and we can play with that. And then we have Payne's Gray, and Payne's Gray, depending on the manufacturer, a lot of times it's actually kind of a very deep blue gray. This one reads very black, and we're going to be doing some really cool monochrome paintings, which is just a color plus black and white. And so,
and you mentioned before we started that there is no blue included this month, but yet there is water.
Yes, and so we're going to play with how water isn't blue. It's just blue because the sky is blue sometimes. And so, yeah, that's something that is intentional in ways. And then you get, we have these 12 well palettes. This is for all of your color mixing. This is actually really important for acrylic paint, which is what we're working with, to mix in something like this so that your paint doesn't dry immediately when you mix it. It stays liquidy, and it's because there's less exposure to the air if you mix in these wells, and that's why we do it. And because we do a lot of color mixing and all of our painting is hinged on that, we like to give you as many wells as possible. We've tried some other palettes and we don't like this one. So that's that. You get a sketchbook. This is the sketchbook we're going with this one. We're including a few different sketchbook options, but we like these. This one is, they're sewn together. It's very lightweight, easy to bring around. Hershey's really good about taking you sketchbook places. So here is your sketchbook.
I recently, last week, dropped it into the bathtub while I was bathing.
Did it recover?
Like phenomenally. Phenomenally. As a matter of fact, I think it looks even better now because it kind of has that like crunchy, like, you know what I mean? Like it's really, I think it's a cool effect.
Yeah.
I didn't advocate it, but it's a cool effect.
Yeah. All right. This is starting with the first part. These are not one, but 2 transparency grids. We use these to help us draw. We do drawing twice a month where we do a very detailed drawing of what we're working with here. And these are our paintings that we're going to paint this month. This is the Lotus. And since I painted this, I've really gotten into Lotus illustration and painting, and it's actually a very popular tattoo. It's a very kind of popular image that you see in decor art. Like you might go to TJ Maxx and find a lotus on the wall. So if you are into if you're into that kind of thing, this would make for really beautiful home decor. This also, in the same spirit, is a Monstera leaf. I know Hershey used to grow these. And
used to. I got
at one point you most definitely did. And this is a monochromatic painting. This is done with the deep green and the Payne's Gray and white. So those are the only colors used here. And so that's what we're gonna do there. With your templates, this is what we use in our sketchbooks and sometimes in our original paintings at the end of the month. We have yoga poses. We have a tea bag that says tranquility on it. I know. I came up with that myself.
I'm impressed.
We have hot tea with lemon discs. We have some kind of fun maybe dried
These are like things you'll find at a spa.
Things you'll find at a spa. We have crystals a few different ways. Here's some right here. We have bamboo. We have more crystals. We have eucalyptus. This is a spritzer, maybe for water, maybe for oil, and this is an oil lamp. And you might think of places these are, and if it's nourishing and the symbolism of an oil lamp and watering something or nourishing something, that's kind of why these are here. We have kind of a potions bottle, and you can think of what's in this and why it's special and why we might have included it. Same thing with the mortar and pestle. We are what we're talking about here is just like breaking down the elements in the earth and what comes with that and tranquility in that space. We have a Buddha. I have a few Buddhas in my home. I just think they're beautiful and reflective of tranquility and simplicity and kind of getting to the elements of things. So it's that. And then today we're actually going to paint the water lily just for fun. And it's not representationally, just however you might want to do it.
For everyone watching at home, these templates are so that if you have any sort of intimidation or you're like, oh, I really can't draw, whatever, these are right there for you to just trace in your book and paint and draw. And that way you have something beautiful you can look at and be proud of.
Exactly. And so if you've never done this before, you have your template and you will get out your book. You will transfer your template into your book and we'll do a demonstration like that. But these fit in this. How that goes?
Yeah.
Is the envelope they came in.
Let's see.
We give you not one, but two different types of transfer paper. This is a white wax transfer paper, so that if you want to paint something dark and you want to transfer onto it, you use white. My recommendation on this is it's got to be very, very dark for white to work. So for example, with our Payne's Gray that very much reads as black, this is a good choice to transfer on top of that. For all else, we have graphite paper. And we use artist grade graphite paper in this instance. This will work for all of your needs. And this actually, now, a lot of times the paper absorbs it, but this is graphite. It is able to be erased. And that's why we use it. It's not too dark. It's not inky, like, you know.
Yeah. You use that stuff over and over and over and over and over.
It's sometimes better the older it is because it comes a little bit more, it doesn't come in quite as strong. These are your outlines. This is your Monstera outline. This is your Lotus outline. We will practice drawing these and we will do that. But when it comes to painting these, do not worry about being bogged down with drawing. We give it to you right there. And we'll transfer these and we'll show you how to do that then. And these are your, get this out of the way now, canvas panels. This is canvas that is primed on a panel. And
I think it was already primed.
Oh, already primed. You do not need to put gesso down or anything else on this. It will stick just fine.
No, I was wondering about that because Bob Ross always does that and we don't. And I'm like, well, we pre-do that for you.
Right. We send you pre-primed canvas. That's why. And we give you 3 of these. That is if you say make a mistake. Now, again, if you make a mistake, you can paint over it or get out primer and paint over it. But 2 of these are for the paintings that we do together. 1 of these is to do something fun, original, maybe a template, maybe something else. Hershey and I always do one live with you. And that is the contents of your box this month.
How a very, very tranquil box this month.
Very tranquil box this month. So I'm going to get some of this out of the way. And we're going to get our paints out. And our palette and our brushes. And I have some water out. If you don't have water out, go ahead and get it out. Sharpen up your pencil if you're using your new one. I like to keep an envelope handy
For
my
what?
for my pencil shavings.
Yeah.
That's what I do, just because it's easy and small.
Yeah. And you know what? Even if you don't need to sharpen a new pencil, if you haven't used that sharpener, sharpen a new pencil. Give it. It's a very tranquil experience.
There's something very satisfying.
It truly is. Yeah.
Sharpening a pencil. We're gonna get this going. And so all of the materials you have in these, we've worked really hard to try and make the best version of what we can send you every month so that you aren't frustrated and can learn. And we get some nice feedback on it. So yeah, if you'd like to subscribe, that's one of the reasons. Otherwise, please come join us, bring your friends. This is the live stream is for everyone, and that's really important to us.
You know, I'm going to do my every live stream now. I've just been finding one random person that I'm friends with, and I shared this with them.
Excellent, 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 excellent. So today, when we mix some colors, and I'm just going a page in, I am going to start. I'm going to kind of do. I'm going to make 4 rectangles. So 2 in each page. And they don't need to be perfect. Take a look at mine. And the way you open your paints is the puncture method. It's got a kind of spike of sorts on this side. You poke through. We're gonna put our deep green, not deep green. And this one, our Payne's gray. In this one. And I'm just leaving some room in between for color mixing. And if it gets all over and then you get it in your face, did I get it in my face? Debatable. Wouldn't be the first time by a long time.
I want to say hi to the people that are saying hello to us in the chat.
Yes.
And I want to say hi to Cheryl, say hi to Michelle, and say hi to Ruth. Ruth wrote in, she said that the boxes are great. And you know what? Yeah. That's one of the places where we high five ourselves.
It is. All right. So one of the things that we can start with, we're going to put some white in the middle in these first 4. Let's get this open. This is not one of the puncture openings.
Right. I stick one of my brushes in the end.
Yeah, I just make a mess and get it all over my fingers. I stick with that plan.
Make a mess.
Make a mess. All right, so I made my 4 rectangles, right? Yes, my 4 rectangles, and then I'm going to draw kind of a line in half of all of them. All right, and so in the middle is where we're going to put our solid color. All right, and we're going to make it lighter as it goes up and darker as it comes down. And I'm actually going to put some of our Payne's gray in the middle as well. Okay.
I'm excited for this. This sounds like a lot. This
sounds tricky, but it's not. And so we're going to start with our green. Okay.
Okay.
And a lot of times we mix a little bit of white in to make it more opaque. We're actually not going to for this exercise. And this is just green plus dark and green plus light, right? So we're going to start with our green deep and paint it in kind of right here in the middle. Okay.
Okay.
Just like that. And I'm going to take some of this and add a speck of white And we're gonna go kind of mix that in like that. And then we're gonna add even more white. And we're gonna kind of mix that into that. Little more white.
Are you mixing in the?
I am
How-
blending as I go, if that's what you're asking. And I'm mixing in the same well. I'm just adding more white to that. And then I'm just gonna go kind of straight up white at the end. And there is our color, green deep plus white.
Yep.
We're gonna do the same thing. Color, and I'm gonna kind of paint over this just so that it's a little bit more opaque. Color, add a little more in there. Plus a speck of our Payne's gray, which is gonna read as black for us. So there we go here.
Oh yeah.
See how that looks. Now Payne's gray is a little bit of a cooler black. And again, depending on your manufacturer, it may or like look more or less black. Ours reads very much as black. All right. And this is our monochromatic study of green deep. It's our color plus white and our color plus black. Rinse off
That
your
looks
fish.
cool.
Yeah.
It gets dark real fast, doesn't it?
It's dark real fast. And so definitely true of yellow. We need to be that much more sparing because why, Hershey? Not all colors
Are created equal.
are created equal. So your white's going to be, or your yellow is going to be really, really translucent. So add a touch of white to that.
And what that means is that, right? Like, correct me if I'm wrong. That means that they don't stand up to another color really well.
They're made with different pigments and they just don't have the same sort of oomph some of the other ones do. Little white to that. I'm actually going to get some clean white out because we're being super clean. That's the thing. We give you so much white, you never need to compromise. Just get out more white.
Right. Add white.
Add white. Never a thing.
It's the eraser of the colors.
Exactly. So we're just going to keep adding white to this. Here we are again. Here we are again. And I'm going to go some straight up white. There's our yellow plus white study. Can you see that, Hershey?
Yes, I can.
And so because not all colors are created equal, I'm actually going to give a pretty generous kind of, we measure paint in peas, like 2.5 frozen peas of yellow. And you got to be really careful with your dark because it's going to get dark quick. A speck, a fleck, a tinge of dark. Because it's going to get really dark really quick because this has more oomph than this does because not all paints are created equal. So there's one. 2.
Oh, wow. Mine got so dark so fast. Yeah.
But I mean, you got to be really careful. 3.
Oof.
Yeah. 4. Even darker.
And you were saying too that I believe a little bit ago, like last month sometime, that depending on the manufacturer, some yellows could be stronger than others, right?
Some yellows could be stronger than others. As a general rule, yellow is a tough one.
Okay.
But yes, there are some stronger yellows than the one we have. Now, at the same time, there's ways to really layer in and get really use your yellow to your advantage. That's more of a gel. And there we go. Here's our yellow, our monochromatic yellow.
Yep.
And as you can see right here, we talk about value, which is how light or dark your color is. And because our base colors in these two instances were of different values, our yellow is a lighter value than our green deep. You can really see as we mix to a dark color, how the values are really different. Like our yellow at medium, at the midpoint, this is considerably lighter than our green deep at the medium.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of some of the magic of how color works, and go from there. Same drill with our violet. And I will say violet and I will say purple. And I believe violet is the more technical term when you're going for colors, but to me, they are the same. So my apologies if I use those interchangeably. And we're gonna go with white first. So here's some white.
Well, if anyone's been watching for a little bit, they know I'm a super fan of the royal family. And this month was the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, 70 years on the throne. And the royal color is purple. So for me, this month is going to be a purple, not a violet month.
I have a friend who's on an international team I work on at work when I'm not doing this. Who, sent us pictures of the celebration of his family celebration of the Queen's Jubilee.
I am jealous.
And it was like finger sandwiches, and it was really cool. And could the Queen not make it? Wasn't there something about that?
She had some mobility issues, which caused her to not go to the opening of Parliament. And then she had, there was some sort of like, she had like a mid-air emergency while she was flying her private plane. And
I hate it when that happens. I get that when I fly my private plane.
Right.
You know, it's tough. And yeah, it didn't work. It was hard for her.
Yeah, so she just didn't come, and that was the excuse they gave.
Got it. Well, I hope she's in good health.
Yeah. She's a living icon, and I'm just gonna say it here first. I just don't think anyone's gonna be as excited for Charles as they are for her. I just don't think so.
I just don't think so either. How could you be?
How could you be?
I'm just gonna go through here and like just kind of soften this one transition. So there is our violet plus white, and we're going to do the same thing plus Payne's gray. So and we're going to take a speck of that.
Ooh, this gets dark fast also because it's a darker color.
Yeah. In here like this, getting darker. And so there's some really beautiful paintings just to be had in these kind of silos in color plus light and dark.
Like monochromatic type things?
Monochromatic paintings, yes. So here's this one, and you see how this is even lighter. This gets darker even than our green one very quickly. And I don't know if you can tell here, but that is a very subtle transition. It's reading very dark. And then we're gonna just do our sort of black and white one. But to do that, our top two colors are gonna be white and black. So our median color is actually gonna be kind of a median gray. So we're gonna take our Payne's gray. We're going to add some white to it. Again, I only have contaminated white. So we're going to put some uncontaminated white on the page. And I use contaminated white all the time in my paintings, but in this one, because we're being so precise, no need. So I'd say equal parts Payne's gray and white. So that's a really good medium gray. And we're going to stick that right in the middle. And I'm going to take some of this and put it in the well next to me here, because we're going to need this to darken and keep adding some white. So here's a touch of white. Touch of white again.
Are we finishing at the top with the total white?
Yep.
Wow.
Here's a touch of white again. I've been aiming for that. We haven't quite gotten there with all these, but
Right.
and you get the idea. Touch of white again. This one has a touch of yellow in it, but you know, we're at that point. Touch of white again. Wrong well. Touch of white again. Later. And straight up white. Definitely not straight up white, but we're close. Here we go. There we go. And we're going to do the same thing. Wash my brush out. We're going to add some darks into this. So, touch of dark. Touch of dark again. I need more dark. Touch of dark again.
We've done lessons like this before with pencils, right? With the
Yes.
Yeah.
Darker again. And darker.
And from my knowledge, one more time, because we said it a million times, but tell me the difference between color value and color tone. What was it? It was saturate. What was the other one?
So saturation has something to do with how the richness of your color. So for example, we've had medium yellow and we've had lemon yellow. The medium yellow is more saturated than the lemon yellow. It's more vibrant, it's richer, it's more of essence of the pigment. Okay. Value is just the lightness and darkness. And so if we were to take these three that are not lightened, that are not just the black to white, and print them with a black and white printer, that would be the color's value.
Got you.
And I'm hitting this even lighter up here. So
thank you for explaining it that way. That's actually perfect.
There's our blend to white. And so in this instance, the values of breaking down the yellow do not correspond to the values of breaking down the green deep, because they started with different values. And that's just part of what makes color mixing interesting. All right, and then if we want to flip these, and these are super wet and going to be difficult to do that with, I'll show you a little bit of, so let's just make, let's go ahead and we're going to do we're going to do something with the violet and medium yellow, which is kind of the foundation of the lotus. And so I'm just going to kind of show how that works. Sometimes the trouble of painting in your books is you gotta let your books dry.
Yeah, or you get this.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice, Hershey.
I did well, right?
You did so well. So I kind of hold this up, and I'm actually going to put some white in here just so that it's, you know, a little more obvious. We mix our purple with our yellow like this. You get this kind of taupey gray. And I've got some white in here too. Add a little bit more yellow to that. We can't go exactly equal parts because it's kind of the same. Not all colors are created equal.
What are you doing with that taupey gray?
I'm just going to show it here. So
Okay.
that's kind of this natural gray. And the, we'll just spec that with like a touch of the purple here, like that.
Yeah.
And then I'll hit that with some yellow up here.
I feel like
Just like that.
my purple yellow mixture is kind of coming out brown.
It does. You have to kind of play with it. What you're going for is kind of this medium in between.
Okay.
And we're talking about two warm colors here because purple has red in it and yellow. So it's going to be a warmer complement versus like blue and orange.
Yeah, you can tell when you add the yellow to it, you can really see the red in that purple.
Yeah, and so it's this kind of it's a redder gray, but it's this neutral that we're gonna build the foundation of our lotus flower. Let's see if I can grab it from. So here's our lotus flower. It's all these tones.
Oh wow!
Just like that.
Yep.
Also, on this page, we can mix kind of different versions of our green with our yellow. And then I'll make a yellow green. These are the secondary color green with a primary color yellow. So this would be a tertiary color mixing them together. So here's just our green. Here's adding a little bit of yellow along the way.
Saturated. That's what I would use to describe my first few pages of my journal.
Saturated with liquid. Add some more yellow. And tell us if you're wrong, but we find that a lot of people have a lot of leftover paint, and that's why we like this size.
Yeah, I think this is really good. I have tons of leftover paint.
And you paint a lot.
Why? Because I use them to do my own personal projects.
Right. And you paint a lot, and you still have a lot of leftover paint. So
Yep, exactly.
All right. So that's kind of how that one goes. And then if we want to mix kind of and see what we get, I'm out of wells, so I'm just going to do this on my page here. Our purple with our green. To see what we kind of get here, but this is going to be kind of our bluer tones. Can you make blue? No, but there's blue in both of these, so you can get kind of an interesting color from these two secondary colors.
Oh, this is exciting. These are really beautiful colors.
Isn't this fun?
What I'm making over here, I'm gonna like, this is really cool.
I'm just gonna kind of smooth some of that out. And last but not least, you can add white, and I'm just gonna kind of do it to some of these, the edge of these. Add white and kind of add black. To these colors, not unlike what we did here. And that kind of changes.
Yeah.
The idea too. And so this is definitely a different approach than what we've been doing with some of our colors, where you can mix anything. Great way to learn. We're just kind of play with these colors this month. Again, tranquility is all about simplicity, and kind of see what we get. It's plus white.
I love it.
Here's plus black. And then this taupey, gray we mixed right here. You can add white to this. And do a monochromatic study of just that. Like this. Plus white.
It's getting messy in these books.
I know. And kind of plus black.
I'm going to grab a painting that we did where we did this. Do you guys, everyone, anybody at home, do you guys remember this lovely lady?
Ooh, yes.
That was
one of our first, wasn't it, Hershey?
It was one of our first, and we just added white. What did we add? Did we add black? We didn't have black, so I don't know what we did.
Darker blue?
Yeah, maybe we started with the darkest blue. Yeah.
The darkest blue is the blue of the, okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was a monochromatic. So these are.
It's a different way to change the colors using other colors instead of white.
Yes. And I'm just going to do a demonstration in another book right now because we are at full saturation in our books. So just a sec here. That's why working and painting in your sketchbooks is really, really fun, but kind of limits how far you can go sometimes. So this is my barrier between the two. And then I'm gonna let this dry. And I'm gonna go ahead and do a template demonstration. So get out our labels. I tear these labels apart all the time because you don't need the whole thing at all. You just need like a little bit. I got a hard time tearing this one. We'll just use a speck of tape. They cut just fine. And we were going to do the water lily. There's a water lily. So you'll get out your water lily. I'm going to rip it in half. And I think I'm going to go low, kind of low with it on here.
Allison, in the chats,
yes,
the Facebook has started to label people as either anniversary follower or milestone follower? Do you have any idea what that is?
No idea. No idea. And I if someone can answer it for us, we would be so interested. All right, so I have paint on my pencil. It will dry. It's not a big deal. You're going to check your graphite paper, sticky, shiny, waxy side down, underneath your water lilies. And with your freshly sharpened pencil, apply mild pressure to the outlines. Don't have to get them all. Some people like to take their time and really get it all. I'm not one of those people. We're just going for the idea here.
It was the lotus leaf here, right? This one here.
It is, I can't see what you're holding up. It is this one.
Yep, okay, copy that. Thank you.
No problem at all. We're just gonna kind of fill these guys in. Just like this. And again, I'm going for a rough representation, not necessarily hitting every line. I just want these to get me started. Now, if you do like to do every line, by all means.
Go for it. I'm an every line kind of guy.
Or she's an every line kind of guy. I'm going for a loose idea to get started. And I drew all these and I still really enjoy working with the templates. Just a fun, easy way to get an image down and start painting. And I've decided that I am gonna make my flowers yellow and white, my lily pads green, and my water kind of this purpley green. So here it is. But anything I didn't get, I'm just gonna draw in. Just like that. Get these guys out of the way. So the first thing I'm gonna start with, and this is just a demonstration, don't worry too much about it, is our kind of purple and green combination. So a little of this, a little of this. This is gonna be our water.
Purple and green, those were the colors of the original Joker.
Real, yeah, you're right. Like when you punch the screen and it said "pow."
Yeah, exactly.
Big fan of those years. We're just gonna kind of work this sort of in as our water. Remember, water, the color of water is, it's colorless. It's what it's doing is reflecting the sky.
If it's not contaminated.
If it's not contaminated.
Wah, wah.
It does take on the color of its contaminants. Just, so I'm going to kind of put that in sort of as my base tone. Just like that. And then I'm going to kind of let that dry. And then I'd like my water lilies to be kind of a little bit green or yellow green. So we have this, I have this yellow green already mixed. I added a little bit more green to it. And I'm just going to kind of get these guys in for now.
Oh, you're using the same wells.
Yeah, I'm using the paint that I've already got mixed. We mixed so much paint, we're going to try and use as much of it as we can. And at this stage of the game, I'm not adding any white because I want to see my outline through it. And that's one of the techniques we use here sometimes is we want to keep our outlines and then we want to cover them up. So when we add white, especially the white that we provide, it's going to become more opaque. And so I'm going to save that for the next layer. And then I'm going to make my lilies yellow. I don't know if water lilies are yellow. I just decided that's how I want this one to look. Or they
They
can.
are.
They are? Good thing.
No, I don't know.
Buddy, is there such a thing? Hang on, that's kind of contaminated. Do a better job of washing out our brush. My yellow is really bubbly.
Same, mine too.
Yeah, it's really juicy. And that's
Yeah,
just
like
the
it's kind of like the mustard where your mustard thing at home, you don't want to get over, you're gonna get, you gotta shake it up.
Gotta shake it up. So my first layer here is really translucent. Everything is in. I'm gonna make the stem that we have here, I'm gonna make that kind of greener. So I'm gonna add a little bit more green to that. And I'm actually gonna kind of add a little bit of this green kind of to my edges of the water lily.
Okay.
I'm gonna say those are greener. I don't know. I'm making all this up.
Yeah.
On the outside.
You do a really great job. As somebody who makes stuff up a lot, you're doing a great job.
I'm gonna make it. But that's part of the fun of this, the templates. We don't take them too seriously. We're not going to replicate something. We're just making something kind of fresh and original.
Your interpretation, it's art.
Yes. And if everyone would be just thinking about what's tranquil to them, we're going to talk a little bit about that this week.
So that's a great thing to focus on. Like, what do you think is tranquil?
What do you think is tranquil?
As soon as you identify it, you could add more of it into your life.
Exactly. And we're still thinking up a template challenge.
Yes.
For this month. And so if anyone has suggestions for a template challenge, we'll announce it next week. So here's some lilies we've got going on. So there's a little bit of shadow underneath here. Just like that. This kind of purpley green combination, I'm going to hit some darks with the darker, the purpler version of that. So I'm just going to kind of come through here. Put in some of the dark colors in the water. And water kind of has this kind of undulating quality to it. Just like that. And we're going to embrace using black as a color mixing medium, but a lot of times everybody knows I don't like to use black.
I was going to say that is a shift in policy. That's a policy change for art.
Policy change. It's just more of a black isn't necessarily found naturally in art.
Well, and remember we did that really wonderful study on creating black with the colors that were in the painting, and it made it just feel a lot more natural.
Yes, and so that's one way to do it. But then, like I said, we're playing with some monochromatic ideas this time. We're going to see what black does, and that's a fun thing to do too. All right, so I've got some of this kind of lavender mixed up, so I'm going to make that the highlight, and this, as you can see, gets more opaque in the water. So everywhere the water is catching the light, I'm going to kind of go in with this lavender color. And then I'll hit that with some white on top in a minute. And there's no wrong way to do it. Like I said, I like to naturally mix my blacks, but to tell you not to only do it that way is also a mistake. So, right. Yeah. So
doing it the way we do is also a lesson in color mixing.
Exactly. And so there's a lot of ways to do it. And we aren't afraid of doing something a little bit differently here. We're always interested in trying things. And so certainly embracing the technique of color mixing.
And I think our community of artists can tell you if there's one thing you learn here at Time for Art, it is how to mix colors.
Spend a lot of time mixing colors here.
You do that. which I think is appreciated.
Here's some highlight on our water lilies. Again, it's getting more and more opaque. And again, these really clean whites, I think, are kind of important in this. So I'm going to keep adding white. And I'm just using my big brush for fun. Not
Okay.
too worried about, but if you want to use a smaller brush or something like this, go ahead. And then I'm going to use a medium brush. I'm keeping it loose for our water lilies. And assuming the sun is above, we're going to hit with just white the highlights of our petals. This. Again, I'm using kind of loose strokes here, covering up my lines. And that is, let a little bit of white to our water. And that is my template channel, my template demonstration for today.
Looks gorgeous.
Well, and it's just one of the examples. And then you want to get a little bit whiter in some places. Go right ahead. And there we are.
Voila. Well, so what do we got in store? We got a lotus flower and we've got monstera leaves coming up, right?
Yes, we do. And we're going to do another template demonstration with a reference image on Wednesday. So we'll see you then. And then we're going to draw. I think we're probably going to start with the monstera. We're going to draw the monstera next Monday. A week from Monday, we're going to paint the monstera. A week from Wednesday, then we're going to draw the lotus. 2 weeks from Monday, we're going to paint the lotus. 2 weeks from Wednesday, and then it's kind of theme month where we're going to talk about tranquility, announce our template challenge winner, and then original painting night. So that's what we've got in store for you. And thank you so much for joining us. We love our community. We're so grateful that you come paint with us.
Really, truly. Love you guys.
Absolutely love you. And that's what I've got tonight, Hershey.
Yeah, well, listen, you know what? I'm feeling the love. The tranquility is feeling, the love is flowing through me because I was able to be tranquil enough to calm my thoughts and everything. And now the love is flowing through. So thank you, Allison, for another great month. And Ruth and Cheryl and Michelle at home today who are participated in the comment section. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.